This is Late Tea Time, the golf betting podcast that finds the best betting value closer to the first shot being struck than anyone else.
Always gamble responsibly. Visit begambleaware.org for more information.
And the music fades away again. As always, it's the Late Tea Time podcast. Welcome along, Late Tea Time podders out there. Very good to see you again. Always come as late as possible on a Wednesday, even sometimes a Thursday morning, to bring you the very latest news, views, gossip, and rumour from the courses around the golfing world. It's James and it is DT. Hello, DT. How are you?
Hello, I'm very well. How are you?
I'm good, thank you, mate. And we've got two tournaments to look ahead to. Before we do, though, Colin Morikawa, my mate. Oh, I followed him all the way through the 4 days. He was doing so well, and then he just ended up treading water for the last two rounds and didn't go anywhere. Yeah,
he vanished, didn't he? I thought this was going to be a big week. We did get Max Homer, though, into a place, so it was a decent week.
Yeah. So anyway, we can't rest on our laurels. We need to look forward. As you can see on the screen, the first tournament we're going to be looking at is the Valspar Championships in Florida, USPGA Tour. And the top end of the markets in that one, Justin Thomas is the bookie's favourite. He's the best price of 11 to 1. Jordan Spieth, his mate, is 14 to 1. Matt Fitzpatrick is 16s. You've got Sam Burns in there at 18s. 22s for Keegan Bradley. Tommy Fleetwood, 22s for Adam Hadwin, and also Justin Rose as well. And then out to 33 to 1 for Brian Harman. As I said there on the intro, DT, that we leave it as late as possible to allow your gargantuan golfing brain to get around all of the news and rumours. Has that led us anywhere for this one?
Yeah, so it's kind of a bit of after the Lord Mayor's show, because great fields at Bay Hill and Sawgrass the last few weeks. But a few of the big guns have stayed on. Jordan Spieth, Justin Thomas, Matt Fitzpatrick, Sam Burns, who's won this for the last 2 years. So they bought most of those in for interviews. So they've interviewed Justin Thomas. I think on Twitter at the moment, you can just see his comments about them kind of making the ball fly not as far. So he spent half of his press conference going on about that. No interest to us for this pod, a wider golfing debate. But there was a bit in his press conference when he said his game wasn't quite there. He said it's not right. He said he feels it's close, but it's not right. So he didn't smack of someone about to win.
So he's a favourite to take on then, is he?
Yeah, we'll get to it in a minute. But I think if you could get him in a match bet with Jordan Spieth, I'd be taking Spieth all day.
Okay.
But I will take Spieth actually on the outright because he was interviewed. I'll just read you some of his quotes. He's won here before, Jordan Spieth. Won it in 2015, and he's only played a couple of times since. And you're thinking, well, has he gone off the course, or what's the deal there then? But he did explain. He said, I planned on... So 2020 was a COVID year, so forget that. 2021, he said, I had COVID, so that he couldn't play then. Last year, he explained that his brother got married, so again, he had to miss that one. So for whatever reason, he's just not been able to get himself here. But he's delighted to be back. He said, I love this golf course. It's as full as I've ever seen it. The greens and rough around the greens are just full and pure. It's the best condition I've ever seen a golf course. And then Sam Burns, the two-time winner here, he was interviewed and he said the greens are playing really fast. Now, Jordan Spieth loves fast greens. It's like Augusta, isn't it?
Yeah.
And there are actually ties with Augusta because although we're in Florida, this track is very undulating. And there's my hand movement for undulating.
For people listening later, he's kind of going like that, which means nothing to you either.
Hand in an up and down fashion. So Spieth, obviously brilliant record at Augusta National. So he likes sort of playing off side slopes and slopes. He just sort of whatever it is. Some players don't, some players get it. And if you look through the records here, there's a lot of players who've done well on that kind of track. This course correlates well with TPC Deer Run, another Spieth favourite. So Spieth has really got this kind of ducks in a row here. I think he's got that win on his third start here, also a 7th. He's only finished outside the top 20 here once in 5 visits. And then his current form, pretty good. 4th at Bay Hill, 19th at Sawgrass last week in a tournament where in the past he's missed a cut a fair few times. Got a 3rd round 66 there. So I think Spieth's coming really into form, and he's got a decent record. Sometimes you think of him, he wins majors and he loves being in the big events. I think he does quite well as a kind of big fish in a small pond. Right. He's won a few of these kind of events where he's been one of the star turns. And given that so far on the PGA Tour, we've seen all those wins for Jon Rahm. We saw Scotty Scheffler win last week. Been pretty good for the favourites, to be honest, on the PGA Tour. So Jordan Spieth, I just think he's got everything in his favour. Really good tee to green numbers, which is what you need here. Gained 13 strokes tee to green in his last 2 events. So yeah, Spieth it is. It's not the most imaginative selection, but I think it's a good week for Jordan Spieth to get another win under his belt.
As you say, he's second favourite just behind his mate Justin Thomas. You can get him probably the best price is 14-1, 6 places with Boyle Sports for Mr. Spieth at the Valspar Championship. Is he your only pick at the Florida event, or are we going to go straight across to South Africa?
Yeah, but I would use Spieth though. He's the outright. I'd also play him in a match bet with Justin Thomas.
Okay.
That's kind of match bet of the week, definitely that one. I presume I've not looked everywhere, but it'll be the likely one because they're the top 2 in the betting. Spieth just seems in a better place. Thomas has got a decent record here, likes the course as well, but when he starts to drill down into his own play, he starts to say he's not really at it. He feels he's close, but I mean, they all say they're close, but for now, Thomas just sounds like there's a few problems.
He'll be working on the driving range with his dad then, as we saw in the Netflix thing. They'll probably have flown over on a private jet together talking about exactly what we're talking about right now. But anyway, Jordan Spieth, the DT's pick, 14-1, 6 places with Boyle Sports for the Valspar Championships. Let's get on a plane ourselves then. It's quite a long flight, this, all the way across to South Africa. The SDC Championships over there. I'll give you the top end of the market with that one as well. Jordan Smith, he's the tournament favourite there at 20-1. You can get Antoine Rosner in there at 22s, 25s for Jaden. Is it Shaper? And Julian Brunn is 28-1. So is George Coetzee, and Just Luton is 30-1. Some names there that I certainly am not that familiar with, but and also big prices. There's no short-priced favourite in that market.
No, it looks to be a wide open one. This one. I mean, if you look who's playing, there's no one inside the world's top 80 taking part. So it's kind of a lower grade event. And yet, Tristan Lawrence, who's the second highest ranked player in the field, he's world number 85. I think Adrian Otegui is the highest at 83. So the second highest ranked player in the field, guess what price is? 50-1. 50-1.
Actually, best price 50-1. 5 places with Bet 365. Yeah,
50-1. Amazing. I know that's 5 places. It's shorter elsewhere, but I've been talking to a few people about this event, and we all keep landing on his name just because of the price. Because, I mean, this guy, he seems to be in a different league to most of these. On the European, on the DP World Tour, I will call it that correctly one day. Still the European Tour, isn't it?
Yeah.
So since November 2021, what we now like 16 months. He's won the Joburg Open, a co-sanctioned event in his own country. He's won the European Masters at Kranz in Switzerland. That's got a storied list of winners. And he's won the South African Open, again, a co-sanctioned event. And for him as a South African, that's massive. That's, they all want to win that. And he's had a bit of a dip in form since. I mean, something must be going on for him to be 50-1. But yeah, I think maybe winning his home South African Open, it was just kind of such a big moment for him. He slightly breathed out a little bit after that. But 2 starts ago in Thailand, he was third at halfway, so it's clearly something was going right. He shot 66, 68. He did fall away a little bit, but, you know, he's still being high on the leaderboard, so that's a good sign that you're top three at halfway. And then last time out, his play and world ranking was good enough to get him into the Arnold Palmer Invitation at Bay Hill. Now, we did miss the cut there, but I checked out his Instagram. It sounds like he just had a fantastic experience, just mixing it with all those guys that he maybe just sees on TV. He said, I'm in amongst this. And he shot 72 in round 2, which is par. Nothing wrong with that particularly. So I think that was all good. You can look at that and go, oh, he's missed the cut. But I just think he's gone to Florida, seen all the best guys in the world, you know, played with some of them, shot better than some of them in round 2. And now he's back. Again, we're looking at this kind of back to the small pond idea. And he's 50 to 1. I just don't get it. The course St. Francis Links, it's been used quite a lot in South Africa events. He's only played it once, but he finished top 20, so that's fine. He's seen it before and done okay. But it's just that ability to win. I mean, that's 3 wins at this level. That's different class to just about, well, everybody in that small space of time. And yet he's 50 to 1. I know we're hoping there's a few things in his game just click a little bit, but I see, before he won the South African Open, he was only like 33rd in the Joburg Open. So it's not like he had a string of top 5s and then he won that. So I just, it's too big a price, basically. And I say a couple of people I've talked to today, complete agreement that, you know, if you're second highest ranked world player in the field, that is a bit of a mad price.
I mean, that's betting, isn't it? You know, sometimes you see a price, it just doesn't correlate, and it's just too big, and it's too big to ignore. And it sounds like that is the case with Tristan Lawrence. I'm going to give you a little bit of a Tristan Lawrence quiz, DT. Let's see how much you know about Tristan Lawrence. How old is he? I'll give you a year either side. How old is Tristan Lawrence?
Well, he's one of the younger ones, isn't he? 25, 26, 25.
He's 26. You get a point. A point. Where was he born?
South Africa.
Yeah, it's all right. Which town?
Don't know. Cape Town.
Nelspruit. I don't know where Nelspruit
Where's that?
is. I don't know. Yeah. And when he won the third and final question, when he won the Joburg Open in 2021, wasn't it? What was slightly different about that event that time?
Oh, I think at the time it was bad weather, so it wasn't a full 72 holes. Was it 54 holes or less?
It was 36, but I'll 36. Give you a point for that. 2 points out of 3, and one question was almost impossible. So well played, Dave Tindall. You go to the top of the class.
It's almost like that win. It was almost like, well, people were saying, well, that's not a proper win, is it? You've won it halfway, but it's almost like he had a point to prove, and he did that by winning at Crans and then winning the South African Open. But yeah, world number 85 and the highest ranked player in the field is world number 83. And yet Lawrence is 50 to 1.
Yeah, makes sense.
Got to do it. Yeah, got to do it.
It makes sense. I might make a regular feature. You did quite well on that quiz, 2 out of 3. One question was a town that we'd never heard of, so you were never going to get that one right, were you? But anyway, we've got 2 picks then this week on the Late Tea Time podcast. Jordan Spieth is DT's favourite in the Valspar Championship. Second favourite with the bookies, 14 to 1, 6 places with Boyle Sports. And also take him on if you can in a match bet against his mate, Justin Thomas. And at the SDC Championships, Tristan Lawrence, who we've just heard all about, 50 to 1. Too big, we shout. 5 places with Bet365. So good luck with your bets, DT. Thanks as always for joining me this week.
Yeah, cheers, James. Enjoy it, everybody.
And thank you out there as well. Just that whole 17 at the Players Championship last week. I loved that. The graphic where they had all of the ball trackers going at the same time, pounding onto the green or into the water. Golf coverage has just come on leaps and bounds, hasn't it? Really, really good stuff. Anyway, enjoy the golf out there, everybody. Thank you for tuning in, whether you're tuning in on the video or later on the more traditional audio podcast. And we will see you again. Well, I mean, it'd be around about the same time next week. Cheers, everybody.
always gamble responsibly. Visit begambleaware.org for more information.